Okay, folks, this is very interesting and has to be documented as part of this kind of interesting excursion we're going into in the Daniel Robinson case. So, this is back in Phoenix, Arizona. And I want you to make note of that strange looking RV. It's very important to document this for some reason. It's called a micro mini RV. You don't normally ever see those. But this is, of course, in Phoenix, Arizona. And so where we are right now, folks, is we are essentially right next to um, Robert, or yeah, Roger Prutsman's house. Okay, so I don't want everybody to go over there or bother anybody here or something, but this is, the associate of Daniel Robinson, the same Prutsman, okay? The exact same Prutsman. And, that kind of information is always blurred out, but it's the same Roger Prutsman who last was with Robinson, essentially. And why this is interesting, okay? Why this is very interesting, folks, is some of those RVs around this area are basically associated with Pioneer Landscaping. These are strange looking RVs and trucks and things. And Pioneer Landscaping is an interesting place that truly needs to be investigated, I would say. I would at least concur and agree it needs to be investigated. Now, that is, of course, Roger's address, but it's near near Pioneer Landscapes, or Pioneer Landscaping, in other words. And it's all very interesting because Matthew Stewart, of course, is kind of indirectly tied to Pioneer Landscaping as well, for some reason. Yeah, that's what you end up finding out. Because Matt Everett is tied to Pioneer Landscaping financially, apparently. And what you find out about that is, I don't know if Mr. Prutsman knows or what, but it's interesting that it's right in that same area. And the manager, okay, of Pioneer Landscaping and Pioneer Landscape Centers, which is very, very close to basically kind of the last known location of Daniel Robinson officially, he's the head of everything there in Phoenix, Arizona. So he's in charge of everything to do with Pioneer Landscaping, and is a friend of the Stewarts, believe it or not. Is associated with the Stewarts, which is definitely peculiar. I won't say that it really means a whole lot yet, but I'm just going to say it's peculiar because there's just some strange coincidences there. And Stewart has always been talking about how he wants to have this type of artwork out there, Lord of the Rings artwork and similar. This is what the Stewarts are really into, and they're a part of Pioneer Landscaping. And so more and more, or at least they were tied to Pioneer Landscaping, and so, more and more it's making me believe, folks, that they know a lot about what happened to Daniel Robinson. And I wish I could go to Caitlin's house, okay? But believe it or not, there's no information even released on Caitlin yet. All we know is that, her name is Caitlin, and there's kind of a shady suburb area of Phoenix that she was known to hang out. But that's all we know about Caitlin. We don't even know a last name. We don't know anything about that person in this case. And so there's some strange things that are really coming up for me Because when I go around Pioneer Landscaping, I see some of those same trucks again, folks. Unmarked trucks that look like they might have belonged to TruGreen at one time and are now running for Pioneer Landscaping and similar things. And that gives me an uneasy feeling, so to speak. And I think we're going to leave it there for right now. Because tomorrow, I believe I'm going to do a deep dive into Phoenix and start looking directly at these landscaping companies a little closer, folks. Because there is something that happened here in between when he left, the household and the area of Roger Prutsman, the Matrix, kind of mining operation that he worked for and things like that, and then ended up talking to Caitlin and running across this just, I would say, very interesting territory that deals with landscaping. And we're going to be exploring that next. And I promise you that the sooner we get in there, the better. So we're going to be exploring that most likely tomorrow for sure. Thank you. So, folks, I will tell you right now, the Daniel Robinson case just seems to always get just a bit stranger each time. And I'm now convinced that not really a group, but like 2 and maybe 3 people were involved in what seems to be his abduction and making sure he disappeared. And believe me, I think that he's still out there. I have this feeling that he was able to kind of evade these folks. But there is something strange going on out there, and it has a lot to do with landscaping. And why is TruGreen no longer operating at all in Arizona? Is a good question. All this and more coming up. Like, subscribe. Thanks.